Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to an NFL divisional breakdown episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm here with Max Faulkner. I'm Matt Kobold. Max, we're getting into the AFC South right now.
Oh, man. Super excited about the NFL kickoff coming up. What is it, September 7th, 8th? Where are we at?
Yeah, it's a week from tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, the 30th. It's a week from tomorrow. We got Lions and Chiefs.
Ooh, that's a good one, too. I like it. A lot of people are talking about the Lions potentially winning that North Division. I'm a Bears fan, so of course I'm not rooting for the Lions here. But hey, we're talking about the AFC South right now. So how about we just jump right into it, Cobrisi? But really quick, thank you everyone for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the South.
Yes, we're all over YouTube, so jump on there for us, please, and thank you. Last season in the AFC South, a refresher for us. The Jaguars finished hot, 9-8. They won the division, went to the playoffs. They won the division at 9-8. Titans after them at 7-10. Colts 4-12-1. Texans 3-13-1. Both the Titans and the Colts finished the season on 7-game losing streaks, both of them. First off, what do you think about that, Max?
This division sucks. Okay. I'm not seeing any reason that it's not going to be exactly the same as it was last season, other than the Jaguars are going to do better. Okay. That's what we're leading into for this division, everybody. It's a queef division.
We'll get into the final predictions of the standings at the end. But yeah, the Titans, it looked like they had this thing locked up midway through the season. We were guaranteeing it here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. 7-game losing streak, that's embarrassing. Jaguars got hot, won the division at 9-8. Max, give me your quarterback rankings for the AFC South.
Yes. So obviously there's only 4 teams in each division. So we're only going to name 4 quarterbacks just so everyone knows as we break down each division. But here, the top quarterback in the AFC South, it's a no-brainer. Come on. It's Trevor Lawrence. Okay. We got Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. At number 2, this might surprise some people as far as I'm going. Okay. But I'm going to go CJ Stroud of the Texans. I think we are sleeping on what the Texans can do this year. And I think CJ Stroud is going to be a big part of that. He's been doing pretty well in the preseason, but Texans, I mean, they're still going to suck. At number 3, I have Anthony Richardson of the Colts. He's going to be rushing a lot. He's going to be hard to take down. He'll get some goal line touches as basically a running back, quarterback as a running back. And then at number 4, I have Ryan Tannehill because he's a queef. And sorry, your Titans with Ryan Tannehill under center.
Yeah.
No way.
I have to agree with you. Trevor Lawrence is obviously the best quarterback in this division. But then we got debate after this. I go Anthony Richardson next because of that rushing ability, that athletic freak. Then I got Ryan Tannehill, last year of his contract. Okay, he sling it or go home, Ryan. And then CJ Stroud, because Houston hasn't won games in years.
Yeah,
he doesn't have any weapons to throw to, really. I got CJ Stroud last in this division as a quarterback.
Sure.
Max, I'll give you my running back rankings here by team. Okay, running back rooms. I think it's a no-brainer at the top here. The Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry, top 5 back, 29 years old, getting a little older, but doesn't matter. This dude is a different kind of running back. Titans have the best running back room in this division. Then I got the Jaguars with Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, the 3rd-round pick out of Auburn. Then I got the Texans with Dameon Pierce and Devin Dingleberry coming over from Buffalo. And then I got the Colts last because Jonathan Taylor, we'll get into him more later, Max. Jonathan Taylor not playing. The Colts only have Deion Jackson and Zach Moss really there. I got him last in this division according to the running back room.
We're not going to waste any time because I have the exact same rankings as you do. You got to give it to the king, Derrick Henry, until he slows down. Come on, he had over 1,500 yards last season. He ain't slowing down. Okay, keep giving it to the king. Jaguars, Travis Etienne is the real deal. Dameon Pierce from the Texans is actually a pretty solid running back. And then we'll talk about Jonathan Taylor in a minute because I know you are furious because you kept him. You kept him in our fantasy football league, and
we'll get into it. Okay. Give me your rankings in the AFC South of the wide receiver rooms, Max.
Okay. In the AFC South, the Jaguars are number 1 with Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk. Dude, Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, he's got some weapons. He has got some weapons. Okay. At number 2, I got the Titans. I got Hopkins. I got D Hopkins. I got
respect.
I got Treylon Burks.
Respect.
I hope Treylon Burks, I believe he has an ankle injury right now. Nursing an ankle injury.
I believe it was an LCL sprain, but he has returned to practice.
Okay. That makes me nervous about the LCL. Anything in the knees definitely makes you worried to come fantasy football season. At number 3, I am still giving it to the Colts, okay? Because I do like Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce, whatever. But Michael Pittman Jr. is good, okay? So he might have a decent season. He's a wide receiver 3, everybody, just so we're clear in fantasy talk. And then at number 4, I got the Texans because, Nico Collins and Robbie Woods? I didn't even know he went to the Texans. I don't know. He was still playing.
Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees still playing. I respect Bobby Trees. He was a great player all around. But I have Texans last. How about you, Cole Breezy? What we got?
No debate here, Max. I got the same order. Out of all these receivers you just talked about, who are you most likely to draft? Not necessarily your best receiver, but just wherever in the draft, who are you most likely to get out of this division?
Calvin Ridley from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I said this in a previous podcast. If there's one pick in the draft that might be the steal pick of the year, I think it could be Calvin Ridley. And I'm going for him hard. I'm going for him hard, tight pants and everything. I want to get this guy. Okay, Calvin Ridley, baby. What do you got?
Sounds like you might be getting him because you're higher than me on Calvin Ridley, but I'm higher than you. You can call me biased, but I'm higher than you on DeAndre Hopkins. I think he still got juice. Wide receiver 9 or 10 on a points per game basis last year. I think he still got it. If Ryan Queef can fucking sling it to him, just feed him. Then we can be talking top 20 season for DeAndre Hopkins at the wide receiver position.
You better hope with Ryan Tannequeef. One tackle on Ryan Tannequeef, that might be it for him. He might be done for the year.
Well, we got Malik Willis and our guy Will Levis that had me drinking mayo on this podcast. So we got those two in the pen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Max, finish up the positions here with your tight end rankings for the AFC South.
Okay, tight end rankings. Ooh, the tight end is such a tough position, everybody, especially for fantasy football. But there are maybe three guys you can try to get. One guy in particular, which is my number 1, is Evan Ingram of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Had an incredible season. Finally had a really good season because all the hype all the analysts were having when he was on the Giants that he's so athletic, he's so good, and he didn't do anything on the Giants. But then he goes to Jacksonville, and he had a top 6 finish, top 7.
Yeah, 5 or 6, I believe.
Yeah, at the tight end position. I think he's going to have another great year with Trevor Lawrence. Come on. You got to love it. At number 2, I have Titans Okonkwo. Sorry. Okonkwo. Very athletic. And, with DeAndre Hopkins out there, they're going to try to need to throw the ball a little bit more other than to DeAndre Hopkins. So why not be the tight end? So I got him. At the Texans, I have Dalton Schultz. Okay. Dalton Schultz, underrated. Very good. He was hurt all last season, basically. So that's why he's not really fantasy relevant last year. But the previous year, he had 70 plus catches, something like that. So he might be the number 1 option, by the way, with CJ Stroud. I have a feeling. So he might be a steal pick late round. And then at the Colts, I don't even know who the hell this guy is. So Granson of the Colts. The Colts suck, everybody. Yeah. They suck.
Yeah, the Colts have 3 or 4 tight ends, and when you have 3 or 4 tight ends, you don't have any tight ends. So definitely the Colts are in the basement here. Jelani Woods is nursing a hamstring injury, I believe. The boys, Queef Wilson and Queef Sam, they say Jelani Woods is their guy at that position. But definitely in the basement of the AFC South. I agree with you. Same order that I have. We'll get into Chig Okonkwo later, and I can't argue with what you said about Dalton Schultz. He could be a sleeper late.
Yeah.
Max, moving along here in the AFC South breakdown. Give us your biggest bust, your biggest queef in this division.
Oh, the biggest queef. A lot of different shows call it the biggest bust. On the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast, we call it the biggest queef because these players are drafting high. They're big expectations, but then they end up doing nothing. Okay. My queef in the AFC South. Sorry, Cole Breezy. It's Jonathan Taylor. Okay. This whole situation that's going on with him. Trade me. I don't want to play. Trade me. It's like, first of all, he hasn't been practicing. I don't even know if he's been in the weight room. Is he doing anything? Maybe he's just playing video games. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's just playing as himself on Madden 2023 or 24, whatever year we're in for Madden. But Jonathan Taylor, even if he decides to play, it's going to be 4 weeks from kickoff. Am I not correct, Cobracia? Did I hear this?
You are correct. He is on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list. That is a minimum of 4 games. A minimum. Okay, it's at least 4 games.
At least. And okay, if he gets traded, because they're talking about trading him, still trying to work a trade in there, which is probably the best option for the Colts anyway. You got to learn an entirely new system.
And you still miss those 4 games at least.
And you still miss those 4 games. Yeah. So he is my queef, Cole Breezy. Everyone, if you drafted Jonathan Taylor in your first round, or if you have not drafted yet in your fantasy football league, I'm telling you right now, Jonathan Taylor's a queef. I'd wait.
I can't disagree with you again, Max. We're on the same page here in the AFC South so far.
Yeah, good.
But yes, a day before, so on Monday, we had our keeper deadline because we have our keeper deadline a week before our draft. And on Tuesday was when all the roster cuts were made. So rosters got finalized and a trade did not happen with Jonathan Taylor. Miami was interested. We heard maybe the Packers and maybe the Rams.
Bears were talking.
Bears. Mm-hmm. So multiple teams were interested. Jim Irsay remains a greedy fuck. Okay, he got offers. None of them were good enough.
Sure.
So now Jonathan Taylor looks like he's going to sit and rot on the bench. I kept him. He's on my team this year. And I'm looking like the preseason queef of the year.
We'll see come draft time. Okay, our draft is next Monday on Labor Day. Can't wait. But, man, you're nervous, Go Breezy. I know you are. But it's okay. It's a long season. Plenty of time to get some good draft picks here.
My biggest queef in the AFC South, we're going with the wide receiver room of the Houston Texans.
Oh, the whole team.
The whole wide receiver group there. We got Nico Collins. He is being drafted as wide receiver 55 late in the 15th round.
Oh, 15th. Okay. I was like, okay. Yeah.
We got Tank Dell, third round pick out of Houston. He is the only other receiver being drafted in the top 100. He's at wide receiver 71. Okay, but undrafted. Like you said, Bobby Trees, Noah Brown, John Mechie's coming back from leukemia. He was a second round pick from Alabama in 2022. But overall, CJ Stroud has some awful weapons. Like you said, Dalton Sharks at the tight end position could maybe be his number one.
Might be the number one. Yeah.
And actually be a sleeper at the tight end position. But as the biggest queef in the AFC South, I've got the Houston Texans wide receiver room because I don't see anybody there right now.
I can't disagree with you on that. Everybody, I wouldn't draft any Texans wide receivers. No way. If they end up doing well, go pick them up off waivers. You're not going to waste any time in your draft with that.
You're right. Who is your biggest sleeper in the AFC South, Max?
We're going to make this one quick because we were hyping him up the entire time that we've been talking. My sleeper is Dalton Schultz. I think that Dalton Schultz can be that's he could. He might be a top. I think he's going to be a top 10 tight end at the end of the season. He's going to be one of those guys that you were not expecting him to do so well. I think he's going to connect very well with CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has to figure out who to throw it to. Schultz is usually open. He's just a big body that stands there for 5-6 yards, runs for hopefully an additional 10. I think he's going to have a good season, everybody. Don't sleep on Dalton Schultz.
I like that, Max. He could very well be the number one option there.
Yeah.
My biggest sleeper in the AFC South, I'm staying right with you at the tight end position. I'm going Chig Okonkwo of the Titans, okay? Yeah. He's going to be 24 years old next week. This guy's young. He was a 4th-round pick out of Maryland in 2022. He's actually from Powder Springs, Georgia, which is where I lived when we lived by Atlanta
Nice.
a couple of years ago with my uncle. Last year as a rookie, with Austin Hooper in the mix, by the way, who's not there anymore. Chig caught 32 for 450 and 3. Last season, his rookie year, he led all tight ends in yards per route run and was second amongst tight ends for targets per route run. From week 9 on last year, he was 5th at the position in receiving yards. Like I said, Austin Hooper's out the door. We already talked about he could be the second option with Treylon Burks' knee injury, and Treylon Burks hasn't done anything. And we could be sleeping. We could be sleeping on Chig right now. We could be talking about him as a top 5 tight end going into next season.
I like it. I do like your sleeper. Yeah. Hey, the tight ends, you gotta dig deep. You gotta go try to find these guys, because the best tight ends, which is like a top 5, 3, I would say probably top 3.
Maybe.
Maybe. They're going to be gone within the first 4 rounds, probably. So you got to go try to find your tight end.
Yeah, he's currently going undrafted as the tight end 16. He's free. You can get him in drafts on ESPN.
Okay.
If I miss out on a couple of those big dog tight ends, I'll wait. I'll wait for one. I'll maybe wait for Dalton Sharts. I might wait for Chig, Tyler Gooseby. There's some sleepers down there late.
Sure.
Max, finish us up here in the AFC South with your final standings prediction.
All right. Final standings prediction, everybody. We've been hyping them up the entire time we've been talking about this. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning the division easily. They're going to have a better season, and they're going to get probably 2 extra wins. I'm betting on. At number 2, I got the Tennessee Titans, because I freaking love Derrick Henry. We can all agree that this guy is arguably still the best running back in the game. Arguably. So you got to give it to these guys. Good coach, by the way, too. I do like the coach. At number 3, I got the Houston Texans. Okay, they're young, but they got some really good draft picks this season. Their defense looks better. I like CJ Stroud at Ohio State. He might be dumb as rocks, as we explained during the draft. But hey, I can't wait to see him on the football field. And then at number 4, with this whole situation that's going on, they don't know what they're doing. Colts don't know what they're doing. Colts are at number 4. They're the queef of the league, of the South. Probably the league. Might be the league.
Might be the league too.
Yeah. They might be getting the number 1 pick. They might be getting the number 1 pick this year.
Greedy ass Jim fucking Irsay. I also got him in the basement. Colts suck. They got a 6.5 win projection. Damn it, go hammer the under, because I did yesterday. I jumped on FanDuel. I hammered that under 6.5. No way they're getting to 7 wins this year. They won 4 last year. They won 4 games. They have a rookie quarterback and no Jonathan Taylor.
No way.
Get out of here. Go make some money, boys. Go make some money. Colts in the bottom. Texans right above them. Maybe a game or 2 better. Both queef teams. But Max, this is where we differ.
Oh.
Ryan Tannehill in his last year. Derrick Henry past his prime. DeAndre Hopkins, 31 years old, has something to prove this year. The defense has improved. Jeffrey Simmons is a big dog.
Okay.
Look out for the Titans. Just like Chigakonkwo, the Titans are a sleeping giant. Nobody's talking about them. They're just giving it to the Jags. Titans were in control of this division more than halfway through the year last year and fucking shit the bed down the stretch. 7 losses in a row. Mike Vrabel is going to turn things around. You already brought him up.
Good coach.
I like the Titans. Titans are going to have an easier schedule than the Jaguars. Jaguars are going to be playing division winners. So I think take at least one of the 2 games from the Jaguars, if not 2, if not both of them.
I think the Jags get 5 wins. They're going to be 5-1. I think the Titans will take 1. I think the Titans will take 1, but they're going to be 5-1 in that division. No way your Titans are winning that division. No
Titans
way.
could be 5-1 in that division too. Titans could be 5-1 in that division too.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Max. Anything else you got on the AFC South before we move on to our next division with a special guest joining us?
Hey, all I got to say when it comes to fantasy football, everybody, the Jacksonville Jaguars is who you got to be looking at for your players on your fantasy team. Okay. And Derrick Henry. Other than that, nobody in this division is very exciting.
Yeah, the Colts and Texans are bottom feeders. like I said, if you want a little sports betting here, go hammer the under 6.5 wins for the Indianapolis Colts this season, because no way in hell are they sniffing 7.
No.